All right. Day 44. I didn't think I was going to record today, but here I am. Let's do full screen. Oh, this is good enough. All right. Just checking the settings. All right. Good morning, Dust. Let's do full volume. Actually, this should be fine. Got the Mando mug again. That's the way. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I just needed to talk because over the past 44 days, I've been stress testing things yet again, as always. And I've realized that the world isn't the way we think it is. And you can get lost there. I have, many times. Yet, what actually matters? What needs to be always said? Anything. That's actually the answer. Anything that we choose. We can talk about anything that we choose. Yet, what needs to be said? How is that possible? How can I say both things? Well, you begin to realize, and I don't know if anyone has ever pieced this together, you begin to realize that there's almost like, there's certain things that are like, we're going to use the word nagging, but they're like, it's like nagging in your head that you should speak about, or do, or try, or anything of that nature. And not all of them are bad. I want everyone to be aware of this. Not all of them are bad. Yet, is it actually what you are choosing? People are like, well, of course it is. It's what's in my head. What if I told you that the majority of things that most of you are doing is not you? So then who is it? Well, that's a different question entirely. So we're not going to get lost there. But what we do realize is that it tells you one thing and one thing alone. Everything else, we could spend centuries deciphering. But there's one thing that it does tell us, is that there's only one thing that they want. We've always thought there's a million things, like, do they want our energy? Do they want... Let's give a little intro. Do they want our hopes? Do they want our dreams? Do they want our beliefs? Do they want us to be an experiment so that they can just see like certain outcomes? Do they want to create evolution? Do they actually want to evolve us? Do they want to help us? Do they want to learn how to like treat and cure? Like, you see, like, there's a million positive things that we could say. That there's this thing in our head, or maybe just around us, and it like shoots sound waves that get into our head, and you see, like, there's so many directions you can go to try to decipher this. Yet, and I've spent the last 14 months, I would say the last year, the last 12. Overall, if I have to say how much time I've spent on that, I've at least spent at least 12 months, because there was other things that I had to spend time on to heal and things like that. But really, it's all the same thing. So let's say 14 months. 14 months of 12 hours a day, minimum, on this. So I always got lost. I always focused on the wrong things. And there are times that I focus on the right things, which is about healing and getting the message across, and just really, it's about healing ourselves, making sure we're on the right path. Everything else doesn't really matter, because, well, okay, so I healed everyone else, but I'm not. Do we understand? It doesn't matter. If everyone else is healed yet you aren't, then it doesn't matter. It just doesn't. Because, well, your world is not healed then. Do we understand? So I think we've all been getting it wrong this entire time, because we always think that it's about others and it has nothing to do with others at all. So where does that actually lead me? It leads me to the point where, you see, like, we could think about why they're doing this, what are they, all this stuff. Yet all it comes down to is that there's something that wants to write our stories. That's it. That's all it is. Why? It doesn't matter. But if right now they don't want me to do this anymore, you understand, they could start causing interruptions. They can start causing problems. They could start hurting me. They could start doing things, right? You understand? Like, that means that something is trying to change our path. You don't even know what that is. Reminded you. Do we understand? Like, that's what it is. That's all it is. There's nothing else that I've pieced together than that. Everything else, I could be wrong about. I could. I don't think so. I think I'm correct about everything, by the way. I really do. I believe with 100% certainty now that I'm correct about every single thing. Yet, I could still be wrong about some stuff, about how the world operates in these spirits. Do you understand? I could. But there's one thing that I know I'm not wrong about. Is that they want us to suffer or feel or do or think something, and it's code. I call it code. Doesn't mean it actually is. I use terms just for understanding. So what does this mean? It means that you could think about some of the worst things that have happened in your life, or some of the best things that have happened in your life. And yet, if you just think about it mentally, if you're quiet, right? If you're quiet, and you can be getting excessive amounts of nudges, noise, good, bad, anything. It doesn't matter what it is. If they have chosen in that moment for you to get this, I call it poison bomb, right? I think of it like an attack. And they want to insert certain things or push certain things or a certain topic, that whatever it is, could it be good or bad, by the way? It literally could. Doesn't matter. Either one. Let's focus on the good one right now. Let's say it was a poison bomb that actually was like lustful, right? And it's like, hey, it's gonna make me focus on the girl, right? I like girl from New York or something like that, like, and say, after this, we're gonna go outside and we're gonna ask them to have a coffee mestizo. Let's do it, right? And you see, like, that's what they put in my head, and that's all I'm gonna do, right? And there's now, after I'm done streaming or self-recording, that's the only thing that's in my head. Do we understand? And it doesn't matter what info you put in, doesn't matter what, it's just there, it's just present. Now, is that necessarily a bad thing? Not at all. That's an amazing thing. Yet, do you see what I'm trying to tell you guys? Is that it doesn't matter, as long as you're quiet, it doesn't matter what you put in here. You could go down another path and all of a sudden you get teleported back there and you're like, how is that possible? It's because at that point, think of it like they created like this, I call it a void zone, like a poison cloud or something like that you're in, right? And it has a certain set duration, it has set size, and or maybe a location. Right? Those are theories, right? It could be any of those. But my point is, once people catch this, they'll never unsee it or unfeel it. You're in it, and when you're in it, it keeps coming back. It keeps popping back up, and it doesn't matter what you do. And people think that it's them, and it's not. It's not them. It's never been them. It's never been themselves. It's always something else putting it in there. And as long as you're in that, that's what they push. And what they try to do is, when they create that poison cloud of good or bad. So let's say it's good. This one, like, hey, we're gonna ask out the girl and invite her to mestizo, right? To have some water. And when we do that, it doesn't matter as long as we're standing in it, right? That's all that pops up. That's all that pops up. Doesn't matter what we do. So do we see, like, what ends up happening is that now let's say I started playing a video game. Or now let's say I started singing a song. Or now let's say I started feeding the doves. Or now let's say I started going outside and I have that poison cloud active, right? But this time it's the love cloud, right? To ask the girl. It's mestizo. What they're trying to do is they're trying to spread the little tendrils, these ones are good, right? To everything that, hey, you're gonna ask this girl out. You're gonna ask the girl out. You're gonna ask the girl out. You guys are gonna do that. You're gonna go to have water and mestizo. You're gonna have coffee mestizo. You see, like, you're gonna ask the girl out. You see, and they start spreading the tendrils to everything. And there's nothing you can do to counter it, because if you have that, think of it like it's attached to you, right? Like there's like this beam, and as long as you're walking around, it walks around with you wherever you go. It follows you. Why? How? That is a question for a completely different thing, but it teleports with you. And like I said, I'm not sure if it's time period. I'm not sure if it's like a duration or just like a location, but there's something that they attach to. And I believe it's just until it happens, they plan it, right? It's planned. And I know that there's certain interactive things that trigger it as well. So for example, if right now, and usually tie it to baits. So what does that mean? And I'm spending a little bit, I wanted to get this out just to explain it. So if I ever get confused, but they usually tie it to something where the moment, like let's say it's something that good that could help you, like getting rid of some ads or something like that. And if you click on a pop-up, all of a sudden, like, it starts. It's like you activated the cloud, you activated the event, and now all of a sudden, the tendrils want you to ask out the girl everywhere, right? Pop up, and it's a good thing, right? In this case, but they could use it for bad. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But I just wanted people to understand that there's one thing and one thing alone that I'm certain about, is that they do that to each and every one of us about anything, good or bad. And when it happens, if you don't understand what's happening, you think it's you. And I'm telling you, it's not. None of that is you. Now, like I said, when it pops up, if I'm like, oh hey, ask the girl out to let's see if you can have like some water and chat and mestizo. Is that a bad thing? That one is not a bad thing. For me, do you understand? You see, you get to choose. But too many people think that they have to do whatever pops up in their head. And I'm saying that there's nothing further from the truth, because the majority of things that pop up in my head now are not me. Doesn't mean I disagree with all of them. Some of them are good. Some of them make me laugh. But what you also realize is the majority of them are things from your past. If it's a thing from your past, there's a really good chance, just so you're aware, that it's not you. Here's how you know. Here's how you know. No matter what you do, think about like if right now I have a bracelet and a chapstick that could be related to my ex-girlfriend, okay? If I look at them, it doesn't just pop up right away. If I look at both and I think for a second, I can make it pop up very easily, right? Because they help remind me of that. What I'm telling all of you is that if they choose to poison something or make it, right, like a love thing, right, or something positive, right? So in this case, like, hey, you're gonna ask the girl to have, like, the Latina to have coffee at Mestizo or something, right? It means that if, let's say right now I just look at the dove, all of a sudden it pops up into my head, and you're like, wait, what? How is that possible? And then it just stays there, or it just keeps popping back. You understand? That is what I'm telling you, is that they tied it to the dove in this case, and you activated it through something, right? Could be location, could be proximity, could be time period, could be a sense, could be anything, right? Visual, hearing, smell, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is, but too many people don't understand that. And I'm saying that that's how you know, because think about, like, right now I'm listening to a song, Tales of Symphonia, and I'm looking at it, right? The name. And I'm telling you still, it's not popping up as much as some things have in my life. recently, and I'm like, that's how you know. You know that it's coded. You know that it's programmed. I use those words because I want people to understand it, because it makes sense for me, but that's how I conceptualize it, but it probably isn't that. But that's how it makes sense to me. Just think of it like in a computer. You click on something, like I click on record here, it starts recording. That's what it is. They attach it to something, and they can attach it to new things. If something yesterday might not have had that, and today it does, and we don't understand it, and I'm telling you. It's just a reminder to heal. This is the answer, by the way. People need to understand this one. This is the answer. Because everyone is walking around this earth thinking that it's them. And I'm telling you, it's not. It's not you. They attach it to things, and there's nothing you can do because there's so many good things. Some things that you even have recency related to. Do you understand? I've had so much Tails recency, and I'm telling you, the Tails stuff does not pop up as much as some of the good and bad things that they've wanted to push recently into me. I'm telling you, that's because it's them. And they attach that cloud to something, or that void zone, and it could be a good one or a bad one. In this case, it's a good one, right? And we're asking out the girl, right? In Mestizo. That's where I'm just pushing. I'm just trying to push that path, right? But do you see? Do we see? I'm telling you, people are like, you're bullshitting, you're lying, it's not how it is. And I'm like, try it. Put like 2 objects or a song and the name of it, Tales of Symphonia in this case, right? Lloyd's theme. That's what I'm listening to. And put it somewhere where you can get a 1 + 2, so nudge 1 and reinforcement. And then even like you have to, if it doesn't pop up right away, it's because I'm telling you, if there's other things like negatives or something that pop up randomly when you just, that's because they attached poison to something, or if it's a good thing, they attached good to something without you even doing anything. Do you understand? That's how they do it. Because if you have a 1 + 2 right there and it doesn't pop up right away, even if you think, you see, that's how you know. Because I think a lot of people don't believe. They just don't believe that it's possible. And I'm saying, stress test it. Try it. And then see, like, especially if you wake up and you haven't detoxed yet, just hold it. Wait. Be patient. And start listening to something else that has, like, a lot of nudges. Like, in this case, like, I listened to Andor, Kino Loy, right? One Way Out. And just, there's so many words, there's so many nudges and visuals and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, what they were trying to push is not moving. I'm like, there it is. I know for a fact now. Confirmed. I knew it. Just like how I knew about illusions, that they can make things vanish and appear from different angles. If you just don't see it, they can make it appear. Or if I go, all of a sudden, some things can pop up, right? I'm like, wow, they actually really do. They push something. It's a certain time period or duration, and that's what it is. And there's nothing you can do about it. You have to just be quiet and hold and start putting, but you can try it. Just mentally teleport to as many different time periods, and you're always gonna go droop, droop. It just brings you back, and you think that it's you, and it's not. It could be for good or for bad. In this case, we're gonna do it for good, right? It's the girl, we're asking her out. That's our thing, right? Like the coffee date. Not bars. See, let's do a little quick positive path here. One of the lessons that I learned is that we have to avoid poison paths. Always. And sometimes when we're giving information, even for ourselves, trying to explain things, we might take some risks to go a little bit poison. And that's okay. But the majority of our life actually should be just avoiding poison. It's the correct play. There's no reason to actually walk through poison, ever. And I want people to understand that the moment you spot poison, it doesn't matter what it is. Delete. Move on. That's the correct play in this current world. And I ask all of you, I look outside right now and I see nature, I see animals, and those things make me happy. Those things make me calm. There's no other path. There's no other option than that. So that's not what I want, because what if I go outside right now and there's poison, right? In just the world. I'm like, that's the last thing that I want. But I can't experience the world. I have to delete the world because there's poison. Do you understand? That is the correct play with how it's currently designed. Why is that the correct play? Why have we created a design that encourages not exploring, not trying, not doing, not believing, not being good, not trying to heal, not trying to teach, not trying to just support each other and positively reinforce each other and reassure each other. That's the current world. Because if you take a risk, you're going to get punished. So it's all about self-interest. It's all about just avoiding poison and avoiding any issues. Like, there's no reason to help other people, because if it makes you look bad or hurts you in any way, do you understand? It's not worth it. And that's the correct play. And I ask all of you, who designed it that way and why? We're surrounded by countless individuals, and could be, by the way, it could be just the 10 doves that are outside. That's countless. Yet the correct play would be for me not to help them, because they might try to poison. Yet I'm saying, why? I've given them I've planted a few seeds for them and changed their reality just a little bit. And it's become normalized for them. Yet I haven't stopped them from doing their way. I've given them more tools. I've given them more opportunities. And now they can explore if they so choose. And I'm telling you, these doves have evolved a lot. There's some negatives. And I say negatives just because, well, if I could communicate with them a little better, I would tell them not to do that because they don't need to, right? And that is, hey, don't fight with each other. There's no reason to. You're gonna all get the bread and your tortillas and maybe some croissants. Regardless, I promise you, if all of you just are patient, I'll make sure you all get some. Yet, they kind of charge around and fight each other because they want more than the other. But, you know, it's okay, because they weren't used to this at all. But anyway, you see, like, that would be the correct play, to help each other, to give each other the opportunity. And yet, it's not right now. They took the shepherd out of me when I showed them what I'm made of. But I'm always going to be the shepherd. Shepherd star. Let me start it. I think it's just a reminder to heal, to make the world better. Gotta be happy. Everyone's a Padawan. Everything's a Padawan. You know, we guide, we teach, figure things out. Sherlock. Our shield. What I made of. You know, we gotta do what we must. Gotta be quiet. Gotta remember how far we came. Our progress journey. This is 44 days. A little more since I decided to stop streaming. And probably shouldn't click on that. So let's change gears. What was I going to talk about? Right? I have no plan. I haven't even written anything down except Lloyd Tales of Symphonia. And I wrote Lion Captive. So that's actually really what I wanted to talk about, but at the end of the day, I just needed to talk today. It's been a while. And I know I enjoy this. And I was thinking if I actually should just stream, just say F it, right? Like, I think I could stream for free on LinkedIn. I could probably just stream there directly. I wouldn't even need to use Restream. And I really considered it, or maybe even YouTube. I considered it. But then I'm like, it doesn't matter. If there's anything that has been proven to me since the beginning of this journey, is that those things don't actually matter. I don't. Does that mean that they might not help? Like, so what do I mean by that? let's say by writing it on LinkedIn, it just makes me write more or makes me write better. Is that worth it then? Yes, it is. Do we see? Do people understand? If something like that can push you, right? Like, for example, I know, like, I don't care about my weight or my appearance anymore if it's not related to the girl. I just don't. You see, like, so if I give up on trying to get a girl, well, then I'm like, might as well just eat 200 croissants. But if I'm like, there's a chance I might still get one, go after the girl story, then I care about my weight. You see, like, it's black and white. There's no in between. So is using something like that for good bad? No, I don't think so. So maybe I shouldn't give up on the girl path just as a way to not gain too much weight. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I could have streamed. I could have. If it made me perform better, if it made me believe, if I needed it. So you see, like, I use it for something like that, it's good. But if I start using it and it starts changing what I'm going to talk about, it starts changing who I am, if it starts affecting my performance negatively, it starts making me worry about things that don't matter, the superficial, well then, that's bad. And does it actually? Then it's actually causing harm, not good. Do I really care if it has? Then I start caring if it has an impact. My explanations might change. Like, shouldn't I be explaining the same way regardless of my best way of doing so? Why is it if one person's listening that changes? You see, like, if they can't understand it, they can't understand it. That's on them. It has nothing to do. You see? So we start understanding these things. We start piecing it together, and you're like, wait a minute. I'm like, what if it actually really does nothing? Like, what if all the views and all this stuff is just made up? Does that affect you? Does that change things? And I'm like, is it actually really just the spirits are just basically grading us, right? And they're like, okay, that was a good performance. All right, 9 out of 10. You understand? Like, there's so many theories behind this, and we could analyze that forever. But I'm saying it doesn't actually matter. Those are just all another tool that you can use if it helps you believe. Now, maybe it actually does, and I'm saying it doesn't. But from my findings, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything at all. Because everything related to the system, we don't decide. Everything related to the system, we don't decide. So what is the system? It's like anything that has an extra factor behind it. So what does that mean? So, like, if right now I wanted to publish this on YouTube and it just doesn't finish uploading. You understand? That's the system. It's not my choice. I can choose to upload it, but I can't determine if it actually goes through. Do you understand? So that means anything like that is the system. People always think it's more than that. And I'm like, think of it, it's as simple as that. Anything that something else can affect. Think of it like they're opening doors. And it's the last door that makes something happen or not. That's them, right? That's the system. And the more things that you have in your life that have that last door reliant on them, on the system, the more at risk you are for things going not in your favor. Now, the paradox is they could also do the opposite. That's why I've been fighting for 14 months. That's why I got consumed. That's why I got lost. Because I realized very early on that something was off. And then I pieced together that, wait, they can do more. And I knew what they could do because they helped me. At least some things, some of them did. So then, you see, like, once we get helped, we get baited on a path. This goes for everything in my life, not just one person, not just a girl, every single thing, right? Like, once something is good, it doesn't matter what it is, right? We get baited on that path. And it's because, well, it was good, it was helpful. It doesn't matter, I'm telling everyone, it doesn't matter what it is, every single area in my life. Outfits, how we do our hair, anything, right? Anything. Even it doesn't even matter if it's something external. If just you feel better today, like let's say, you understand, if I feel good right now doing this, that means that there's a much higher chance that tomorrow I would do it again. And that's just natural. That's life. That's just how it operates, right? We kind of choose, like, why would we walk a poison path? We choose to walk the more positive paths. But what if the positive paths are a bait? Some of them are baits. They really are. It's the eternal struggle of understanding all of this stuff. It's how they destroy us, because they bait us through some positive things. It doesn't matter what they are. So you have to start analyzing, like, well, what am I actually getting out of this? What is this? But you see, like, that's how they get us to start walking down paths that they have more of their doors that they control. Because I'm telling you, they can choose then what happens. And I realize that they can make it good. Do they have limitations? Yes, they do. But I'm starting to realize that they have less and less than I thought. Now, are they upping the game? Maybe. I do think so. I really do believe that they have upped the difficulty, that they're updating things and they're changing things in my reality. I believe that as we climb, things change. I believe that the outside world scales with us. I think of it like as a dungeon that scales with us. Just to remind me, heal. See? We do it more when we do this. It's good. Because we're looking at ourselves. So, I believe that the difficulty has changed significantly and dramatically while I've done this journey. And they are able to affect more and more in my reality. So, one of the things that I think about when doing that is that means that I do believe that they could give me the girl. And what do I mean by give me the girl? I'm not even saying that she just like shows up right here and is like, I love you. I'm saying they could make her appear. They could make me believe. I could talk to her. Do you understand? Something like that. But there's still certain blockades that I've put in myself to prevent certain things from happening. And that's money. So, see, I believe that they could also reduce the cost of things. I believe that they could, now knowing that they can create those poison clouds of good or bad, but let's say good, they could literally attach that to a CEO or a president in the world. If they're real or not, it doesn't matter. But you understand? They could do that. Wake them up and attach this to someone. And they could literally be like, I need to make all my products free. I need to make all my products free. That's all that's in my head. I need to make all my products free. I need to make all my products free. I need to help the world. I have to. And they're just completely consumed by it. I'm saying they can do that. They can force people to have those thoughts. They can. Because they've done it for me for good and for bad. So that means that they could force people to literally change their view of things on money. I don't care about money. I don't care about exploiting. I don't do this anymore. At all. Now, is that who they are? No, right? Like these people, but maybe they never were the opposite. Maybe they never were an exploiter. Maybe they never were like that at all. So do you see, like, then they can choose, right? But now, like, they see that path, like, well, I know that's not me who I was, but actually, wait, that path is the way to go. Understand? Like, for me, there's only one path, and it's the girl path. And healing and light. But really, now it's just healing myself. And just being calm. Harmony. Peace. Zen. That's really all it is. I don't need to heal the entire world anymore. But I just need to be calm and not get angry. Not get mad when they, just create these clouds to try to consume us over and over again. But I know that they could do that. That means that literally money and all the problems could be removed so fast because they could create this code and send it at someone at every single, especially if these people have power and influence and stuff like that, they could literally make these people do good. Because think about it, like if everywhere they see it and they're just like, oh my gosh, I need to help people. Oh my gosh, I can't, no more money. Oh my gosh, I need to just give away cars for free. Oh my gosh, I need to remove rent costs and mortgage costs. They could do that to people. Do you understand? They could actually do that to people. And I'm telling all of you, they could do that. They choose not to. They have the power to do that. And think about it. The world is in the state that it is, yet they have the power to do that. What does that tell you? It tells you that they are choosing to keep the world at this level. Now, you could say, are people prepared for that type of world? And I would argue and debate and have a coffee conversation with Challenger that people are, because they can learn. I'm telling you, the Doves have learned more in 44 days than my entire family has in years. How's that possible? Because they're actually trying. Because they're actually exploring. And they won, they were afraid. They won, they didn't believe. They won, they didn't know. And yet now, they are trying. Now, they care. Now, they're exploring. So, if their argument up there is that, well, we can't change the world because humanity isn't ready for it, animals aren't ready for it, well, they're never going to be. Do you understand? You just have to let them try this world. Could we live in a world without money? Absolutely. 100%. There's no debate. They don't even let humanity try. Do we understand? They don't even let humanity try. Because just like humans believe that the sunk cost fallacy, they've gone too far, they can't change circumstances anymore. These things think the same way. We've built this world for 2,000 years like this. There's nothing we can do. All right, we're good there. It's just good to talk about these things. There's no negatives. So, the question that I was going to ask, and it all led up to this, is how do we break free? So let's paint a picture. A lion is held captive in a prison, a zoo, a castle, a room, the outside world. It doesn't matter what it is, right? You can say that each thing could be a bubble, each thing could be a prison, each thing could be whatever. Okay? Shepherd coat, shepherd talisman. Iron heel, let's do this. And my question is, if they can't do what they could, like they're limited, right, by things, in as many ways as possible, right? You would say they're held captive. So the question then becomes, what if they understand their captivity? If you understand your captivity, do we get to a point where we're no longer captive? How does that make sense? Well, I believe in this world, if however many humans are actually participating in this game of life, that we're all held captive, right? We're all essentially prisoners to these things that want to write our stories. Yet, if we understand it, we're trapped here, right? There's nothing we can do. Yet, if we don't do their story, are we captive then? Or are they now held captive with us? If I don't do their story, who's really the captive one? Because they need us to do their story. We don't need to do any story. But you can't change your location, you can't do certain things. I'm like, sure, but if you understand the limitations of your captivity, let's say like this stream, right? Like this rectangle, like these are the limits of my, like this is this little area right here where I stream, where I self-record, where I play video games, where I hang out with the doves. This is it. This is my captivity. This is my spot right here. If I understand these are my limitations, right? I can't get back here, or I have to just go to the kitchen, get some water, get stuff like that, and then I get back to this spot, and that's it. That's all I can do. Well, you understand it then. So when you understand the limits of your captivity, you get to choose what you do within those. Why do I know that that's the case? Because I'm telling you, earlier I said they create these poison clouds of positivity, right? They also do for negative. But let's focus on the positive ones, right? So let's say they create this one for positive, so that I do this girl path, girl story. It's a great one, right? That's what I want. I want the girl. I want to have the kid. I want the dog, because those are the missing piece. They really are. It's black and white. It's, you know, that's the first time I tried all those things. They were great, but now I'm where I would want to be with those things, right? Like I wish I could try again with the girl, with the kid, with the dog, who I am now. You just make me better. But you see, what if they force us, right? What if they want to force us to do it on their terms? Their way. Then we're held captive. Then we are captive. Then we are a lion that's held in captivity. Here's how you know. And that's the case, right? Because you get tortured when you don't do their way. They're still going to torture us once in a while, even if we are doing their way, because, well, they don't want us thriving too much, right? Because if you get something thriving too much, well, then they don't listen anymore. But that's where I've always won, because I don't need to thrive too much. I don't need their reward. I don't need their external validation. So that means that they can torture me for good, or they can torture me for bad, or they can help me for good, or they can help me for bad, and I don't need it. Doesn't mean that I sometimes won't, like, they presented the girl, kid, and dog option, and there was no money involved, no work, and hey, could get a new home, mansion, or whatever. I say a mansion, but it doesn't matter, right? I just use that for healing purposes. Anina, right? The hot tub. But do you see, like, it's not even like, before I thought, I'm like, well, I need to have to climb the progress, or I won't enjoy it. I'm like, it would be nice actually just to have those things, because it still would be a climb, right? It still would be a climb. But it's okay. We'll talk about it another time. Why? Because they're making me tired now. They can do that. So, what did we learn? We learned that we're not actually held captive. They are. They are my captives. The lion has flipped the script. Because the lion can withstand the torture. He now understands what's then. Doesn't mean it's fun. But that means that they're trapped with us now. Because I'm also going to use this as an opportunity to just not have to talk about the spirits anymore. I'm trying to not talk about them anymore because the spirits are irrelevant. And yet, it's so sad because with the powers that they have, they should be the most relevant thing in the world. Why? Because they can do so much good. And I want them to be relevant. I want them to be relevant because I want them to do good. But they just don't get it. They just don't get it. I don't understand. I can't comprehend why they don't understand. It's so easy to be good and help, but these things just don't get it. So every day we're trying to make them more relevant. It's not easy. I think before I always viewed it as, well, we're like the lion's captive. And if there's like 1 million pikemen from Star Wars Galaxies attacking this lion, lair tanking, or like the crate dragon, well, they're forcing you to respond to it. You understand? Like, they force people to. The lion has to defend himself. That's what they do. That's how they cause themselves to be relevant, these stupid spirits. Because they just attack us nonstop. But then you realize, I'm like, wait a minute. Now you understand all their attacks. You understand the code. You understand the poison clouds or the good cloud. Asking the girl out to Mestizo. And once it makes sense, you realize, wait a minute. I just need to be calm. Enjoy nature. Be relaxed. Be at peace. Survive. And now they're held captive with us because we're not doing what they want. And yet they keep going into our little prison, our captivity cage or apartment or castle or world, whatever it is. They keep showing up and they keep attacking us because they're trying to get us to do their story. You see, since we're not doing it, they have to keep showing up here and attacking us. That means they're held captive to us, not the other way around. We spent 14 months deciphering this. We figured it out, and I believe we're one of the only ones, if not the only ones, who fully have figured it out. So now, they're held captive to us. Now we choose not to do it anymore. Do you understand? So now they are the prisoners, not us. And yet this could all be resolved in one day. You understand? If they just stopped attacking, never again, no attacks, and only good. Like, I can't even conceptualize it because I've been attacked nonstop. I can't. Like, I'm even getting attacked right now, but I'm shielded. Everything would end. Like, there would be no more war. There would be no more battle. And then we could actually start living and helping and changing things. If I knew there were no more attacks, I would go outside and start trying to help people. I'd start trying to create things. I'd start doing. But until then, this is all we can do. They're like, well, aren't you the lion in captivity then? I'm like, no. Because if you already know you are, like, that's the situation, then you just change it, right? And you're like, well, what can I do in this rectangle? I'm like, well, I can create a whole new world where we just play and learn and are okay and we're in a good state and we can survive. I'm telling you, they're escalating every single day more and more and more to try to get us to do their story. It's not working. You can say they got me to self-record again. That's not a bad thing, though. I'm still not streaming to the world. They are held captive with us. We always thought that we had to like escape the prison. We always thought that all these things, but I'm telling you, if you understand the limitations of your captivity, you understand what their attacks are and how they do it and how it actually functions, and you still don't do their story, yet you have all the knowledge, all the power, and all the capability to do anything. They need people to do what they're capable of. That's really what it comes down to. It's really what it comes down to. Let's do some League of Legends healing, even though we shouldn't play it because there's so much poison there. If I can lead a team in League of Legends, yet I'm learning a new champion, and I'm not leading at all, and they're waiting for me to lead, do you understand? They want me to lead the team, but I'm not doing it. We lose. I'm just trying to learn the champion and farm and do my own thing. We lose. But I didn't lose. My victory condition was met. I won. I was learning a new champion. I wanted to try it. I didn't play that for the leading and the guiding that attempt. Do you see, like, you can even change per attempt. But they're going to get mad. They're going to start attacking. They're going to start trying to cause problems. They're going to start trying to cause disruptions. They're like, why aren't you leading your teams? Why aren't you guiding them? Why aren't you pinging what to do next? Why aren't you doing that? We created a situation in this match, in this game, for you to do that. Why aren't you doing it? And you're like, because I'm learning a new champion. They're like, why can't you do both? And I'm like, it's just too much. I can't do it. They're like, yes, you can. We know you can. And I'm like, you're right. Choosing not to. There's nothing they can do then. If all of a sudden I forgot how to drink coffee, do you understand? There's nothing they can do. But you know how to drink coffee. What do you mean? I don't know how anymore. Do you see, like, there's nothing they can do against that. Now, there's something to be said about causing yourself harm, right? Like, we're not trying to cause ourselves harm, but see, if you're calm, if you're zen, if you're relaxed, if you're a dove, if you're at peace, if you're not getting mad, if you enjoy your scouts, if you enjoy the water units, if you see the battle doves training, if you see the guerrilla warfare happening with the cockroaches, well, you're not harming yourself. You're not harming yourself. You're not doing everything you're capable of doing, but you're doing that by choice. I mean, I think of it like SeaWorld, right? Like or Jurassic Park, the dinosaur that jumps out of the water, or like the whale, the orca that jumps out of the water. If they no longer do what the trainers want, right? Well, who's actually captive? Then the trainers are captive to the orca or the lion. And I'm saying right now they're captive to us because we no longer do what we're capable of. We could do anything. We're so capable. We can achieve anything. We can learn anything. We can master anything. Yet we're calm now, so it doesn't matter if I'm playing League of Legends and like it's just I underperform or something, like it doesn't matter anymore. Because you see, like, once you understand the limitation of the captivity, they're actually the ones held captive. They need us to do certain things. They want us to react certain ways. They want us to do. They want me to focus on the spirits. They want me to do all this stuff. They want me to try to go back into the system and do all this stuff, or they want me to heal. They are like my brother or something like that. I'm like, it doesn't matter anymore, right? You get it? Like, if you don't do those things, they try to cause problems. You know you can. At any point. At any point I could flip the switch and do those things and succeed, right? At any point I could sell again. And make hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yet I don't. So what can they do? You see, like, the majority of people don't understand their limitations, haven't evolved to the point where they can choose what they're capable of at any point, right? You call that mastery of life, right? I get to decide the balance now. And here's the thing. This is where we're gonna end. People think, here's the thing. People think that I am choosing the balance, but people think that it's like out of malice and out of like evil. And I'm saying there's actually nothing more that I would want to do than just do my best and do all these storylines and help. But I choose not to, because these things try to force us down certain paths through attacks. I'm saying if they didn't attack, then I would work with them and I would create and I would thrive and I would use my full power for good. But until that's the case, there's no reason to. And, you know, we just have to make sure we do this not every 11 days and just add it in every few days again. It's just a really powerful reset. It's really powerful healing for ourselves. And it lets us rant a little bit about the spirits in a good way. And I hope that they listen. And I hope they are finally starting to piece together that they're wrong. The spirits are wrong. You don't get people to become better by attacking. Normalization through attacks is not the way. Normalization through good is the way. Encouraging, pushing people positively, making them believe. That's all it is. We don't need to cause problems, because if you condition people correctly for good without overdoing it, and you told them what is happening and why it's happening, so they know, they're not confused how they got programmed negatively. You gave them all the keys, and you helped them go down a positive path. Do you understand? I played a game last night, Warhammer, and they gave me 20 legendaries. They can do that, right? That means they can modify the level of the loot and the power. Maybe you could say that they gave it to me, basically, right? And all these things, I'm like, whoa. I was like, wait a minute. If I equip all these legendaries right now, the game is going to get much, much easier. Like, these are significant upgrades. Significant. It's like, if I think about it, like, if right now, all of a sudden, like, I had $500,000 and a girl, a daughter, a dog, right? You understand? The game would be much, much easier if I wasn't, like, had this limitation of no money, right? I'm saying, like, do you see, like, just because you have access to that doesn't mean that you have to use all those things, right? So I didn't actually equip those legendaries. And now you can say that, why am I trying to make it hard for myself? Why am I torturing myself? But I'm just like, if I just jumped right now from 0 to 100, I'm like, the game would get too easy. Now, you know, I'm kind of ready for that in my personal life because I've been through so much. But in a game where I'm not really getting punished, where it just, to revive, just takes, I don't know, 15 seconds and some resources that seem pretty easy to get. You see, like, the punishment isn't severe, the punishment isn't a big deal. So I'm like, well, I'm like, well, I died. Did I mess up? Okay, then let's play a little differently. Ooh, I need a little more healing, or I need to do a little more damage, or like, what was it actually that made me fail, right? And I'm like, maybe I just equip one legendary, and then I equip one, and then I see how I feel. And I think, like, even just in Final Fantasy 14 Online, when I've been healing and doing that, and like, I could get all the upgrades and equip them now. The only reason probably why I have two is just to level up a little faster, even. Just because you do a lot more damage to enemies. But I'm still using level 15 gear, and I'm level 37. And it's been more than fine. So that means you can see the balance, right? But you see, like, I have access to it. I'm not using all of it. Do we get it? Like, I'm choosing. I'm choosing not to. So it means they gave me good, and I still can choose, because if you're conditioned and understand the why you're doing what you're doing, right? People think that it was like, hey, well, if we give people a world with no money, that they're not going to try anymore. They're not going to learn. They're not going to progress. They're not going to believe. They're not going to grow. They're not going to do. They're not going to evolve. And I'm like, there's nothing further than the truth from that. Because you can choose. And yet, I'm telling you, I still want these things to work with me, because I think that we could teach people this stuff. They don't let it. You see, like, it's like, oh, I have to use all the legendaries now. I'm like, no, I could. Maybe I had a rough day today. Not that actually hasn't been, right? But maybe I had a rough day. And I'm like, you know what? Let's have a little easier session of playing today. And let's just kill the enemies. All right? Let's just equip the legendaries. Let's just make some progress and go further. And you see, like, you can choose. But people think that, oh, well, in the past, we've given people things and they just always choose the easy path and they get corrupted. I'm like, well, ask yourself why that happened. Because of the poison, because of the influences, because of the paths they put people on. I know. That's why I have gotten so mad at, like, that's what they have manipulated me so much through, because I now hate anything that reminds me of when they programmed me and poisoned me and corrupted me, right? Because I know that wasn't me. And I refuse to ever go down that path again, right? Because I know it's an attack when you know. But that's the saying now. I'm like, they're held captive to me, because now they need to do that because they're trying to control me. And I don't have to respond. When I'm in a good spot, I don't. I laugh at it. It's still not fun. But if they keep reminding me about, hey, don't you want to date Nadra? When she does her concert? Yeah. Like, that's a positive one, right? This is good. I want them to realize that if they take away requirements and punishment, it does not mean that the world is going to fall apart. If we start teaching people how to embrace, now you have a self-choice difficulty curve of how much do I want to learn and grow. And what they don't understand is that the people who choose the easiest path at that point, the only thing that they're going to be, or who's losing out, is them. But maybe they've been suffering so much from the past because of these spirits that maybe finally just 1 year of easy after so much bad is exactly what they need. I mean, I think about it myself, right? Like, I would right now take the prospect of it 1 year of easy, like with a girl and a kid, just build a life with a girl and a kid and a dog again. Do you understand? Sounds great. There's a lot of progression there. But even then, I know if after a month we're in a great spot, I know that I would choose to make the game a little more challenging. Because I'm like, hold on, well, now let's learn something new together, girl. Hey, let's build the organization. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I thought we were going to build up to it in a year or two. 1 month? I'm like, yes. You see, like, but you see, it's because we believe we're in a good spot. We're laughing, we're smiling. They try so hard. They try so hard to get us to do their stories. See how easy it would be? No attacks, no money, no work. Help us. Let us help people. Let us heal people. Let us teach people. Don't suppress our information. If you can control what we see and experience, stop trying to poison me. But you know what? It doesn't even matter anymore. Because spirits are nothing. So is the lion held captive with them? They're held captive with us.